Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is July the 14th. We have 2 games on the board for today. Bunch of action yesterday. So we'll jump into that recap. We'll jump into the Jackson recap as well. I'll give you a couple plays from Jackson today, and then we'll get on to the games for today, man. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Appreciate everybody for tapping in as always. Do me a favor if you can as you join. Hit the like button for me. Helps out the algorithm, helps out the show, helps out the channel, shows support. And let's jump into it for today. So yesterday, ended up just going with Arike under her 16.5 points. That was an easy winner. I know the short list was very, very long. I had some stuff going on that I didn't plan yesterday. I also fell asleep. So it was a lot going on yesterday. But the short list, I think, was a positive short list, especially if you waited and didn't play Atlanta without Ryan Howard. I think you would have made a nice little bit of money yesterday if you had just made those plays. So just 1-0 day for myself yesterday. Hopefully you guys made some money. Let's go through the comments real quick and we'll jump into the games for today. Algina says cash with only 3 days left before the All-Star break. Let's find some winners today. Good morning, Algina. Hope all is well. What up, GLB? This is what good, Kristen chat. Got a nice trim for you today on the Valkyries. All right. I'm excited to hear that, GLB. I found a couple on the Valkyries too. We'll talk about them. What's up, Brian? Hope all is well with you. He said Chicago first half. Valkyries first half seems to be steady plays. What do you think today? We'll talk about it. What's up, Jalen? Says likes the Sky plus 10.5 and the Valkyries money line. Parlay J says it's a long slate. So in my opinion, fade the public and it's a low slate. Go Valkyries money line in the Minnesota Lynx minus 11.5 extendo. Good morning, Free Sauce. What's up, Mark? He says money making Mondays. Free Sauce says he went 2-1 yesterday. Let's find some more today. Hope everyone had a splendid weekend. Mark says he like Lynx minus 10.5. Courtney Williams over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Put it in his pocket. We shall talk about those. Gina says she likes under in this Phoenix and Golden State game. Mark says Fever looked to bounce. Be back in sync with Caitlin Clark. They were laying 14.5 yesterday. It's up to 15.5 in that game tomorrow versus Connecticut, Mark. I was looking into that already as well. Meech got over with Paige yesterday. I think she finished with 21 points, even in the blowout. Paige is good, man. She is really, really good. I mean, I know you guys know this already, but she is really, really good, man. What up, Doms? Appreciate you for tapping in. What else y'all saying here? Free Sauce says Love and Lon Smith under her 5.5 boards today. Brian says, Chris, is there a stat for favorite not covering twice against the team? Do they cover the third game? We can look into that, Brian. I'll start this comment so we can look into that as well. Toby says, take the Sky on the money line. They're going to smoke them again today. Okay, we shall see. Malik says, Sky Fever. Come on, chat. Mark said, this is the mother of revenge games. Spot for the Lynx, in my opinion. Adjustments will be made after that loss. Lynx minus 10.5 for me. And we shall figure out if I agree with Mark or not. Toby says Lynx are gazed, buddy. Chicago Cheetah says over for the Chicago Sky Lynx game. Mark with some strong opinions here. Let's find out if I agree with Mark or not. GLB real quick. Comments keep coming in, so I'm going to just keep reading them, man. GLB says double-digit favorites who just lost is a double-digit favorite, 21-0 straight up. Since 2012, but only 12-9 against the spread. I don't know if I can trust the Lynx to cover the full game. Superstar says give him the Sky plus the 11.5. What up, G421? Says he's also won the Sky plus the 10.5 today. All right, let's jump into it for today, then, man. We'll start off with Jackson. Yesterday, Jackson is an AI sports betting tool that you can utilize to handicap player prop size, totals, team totals, overs, unders, MLB, NBA, NFL, you name it, right? Soccer. You probably could have made some money with Chelsea yesterday. So yesterday, Jackson went 1-1. Caitlin Clark over 8.5 assists was an easy winner. Erica Willer under her 1.5 3-point makes was a loser. She ended up hitting 2 of her 5 3-point attempts yesterday. So 1-1 day for Jackson yesterday. Today's prompt is the same, right? What are the 2 best player props in the WNBA? 1 over, 1 under. Jackson likes Angel Reese to continue her dominance over her 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It says that she's consistently hit the line over. She's consistently hitting the over on this line. She's hit the over in 80% of her last 5 games, averaging an impressive 37.6 points, rebounds, and assists during that stretch. Over her last 10 games, she's maintained an 80% hit rate, averaging 34.4 points, rebounds, and assists. Matchup history: when facing the Minnesota Lynx this season, Reese has been exceptional, hitting the over 100% of her 2 games against them, averaging 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Opponent defense: while the Lynx boasts a strong defense, ranking 9th against this position, Reese's recent form and her proven ability to perform against them suggests she can overcome this challenge. News narrative: so Angel Reese is currently playing at an elite level, averaging 17.6 points, 15.5 rebounds per game over her last 8 outings. She's exceeded 27 points and rebounds in 7 of those 8 games, highlighting her significant impact on both ends of the floor. Her overall game makes her points, rebounds, and assists over a very attractive play. So take Angel Reese over her 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. For the under, Jackson likes Kayla Thornton under her 14.5 points. It says that she's shown a tendency to stay under this line recently, hitting the under 60% of her last 5 games, where she averages just 11.6 points. Matchup history: her performance against the Phoenix Mercury has been particularly subdued. And this season, she hit the under in her only game against them, scoring 10 points. Looking back at the 2024-2025 season, she's hit the under in 100% of her 3 games against the Mercury, averaging just 5 points. Take that with a grain of salt because she was playing off the bench, is my interjection there. Opponent defense: the Phoenix Mercury present a formidable defensive challenge, ranking 3rd in the league against their position. This strong defensive matchup significantly favors the under. The news narrative says that the Phoenix Mercury have been on a roll, even with key players like Satu Sabli and Kalia Kabra sideline. The defensive prowess, especially against players in Thornton's position, makes it a tough matchup for her to score. This strong defensive unit, combined with Thornton's historical struggles against them, point to a strong underplay here. So Kayla Thornton under her points prop, Angel Reese over on her points, rebounds, and assists for today. Those are the thought processes there. So let's jump into the matchup. So first up, we got the Minnesota Lynx and the Chicago Sky. Same venue, right? These 2 teams just played. We were on the Chicago Sky plus the 11.5 in that game. I think we might have gotten 12.5. And I need to change the line because this line is not 11.5. It's actually 10.5. So I want to make sure I change that real quick. So 10.5 is the new number. Remember, this was at 12.5. We casted 12.5 on Saturday. And the total, I think, hasn't really changed much at all. So we look at the injury report. I think that we don't have anybody on it. Let me just double check. I think Griffin is still on it for Minnesota. She hasn't played in forever, not really a part of the rotation. Chicago will have a fully healthy roster as well. So this was a game where I get it. It sounds like everybody likes Chicago. Plus the points, they're still at the crib. They've been playing really, really well. I wouldn't play Chicago in this spot. I haven't bet the game yet. Minnesota, nice little bounce back spot for them here. It is their 4th straight road game. You do worry about that a little bit. They played a ton of games. But in the Chicago team, right, makes sense to want to back them because they keep printing money. 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 games. Chicago have not covered a spread, not covered a spread in 8 straight games. This is the 3rd matchup of the season. Minnesota won the first 2, didn't cover either of the first 2 though. We got to remember last week when these 2 teams played, Minnesota was on the 2nd leg of a back-to-back. I think it was 3rd game in 4 nights and 4th game in 6 nights. So it's a little bit more of a advantageous matchup for the Minnesota Lynx. You always want to get that quick lick if you're a team like the Lynx, who are better than the Chicago Sky. Granted, the Chicago Sky have been playing a lot better. So I was listening to the post-game interview. Nafisha Collier was up there with Kayla McBride, and then Cheryl Reeves went first. She was pissed. We just talked about this a couple days ago. The Lynx off a loss, they've been very, very good, right? 4-0 straight up, 3-0-1 against the spread when they're coming off a loss this season. Only 2 of those wins came by 11 points, though. They beat the Sparks and they beat the Mystics. They're also 4-0 to the over in all 4 games after a loss this season. Games are going over by an average of 16.5 points per game with an average total of about 160, which is right where we see this total. But going back to what I was saying about Cheryl Reeves. Cheryl Reeves was very, very disappointed. She said that the team came out, played with no effort. They were out-rebounded by 17. They gave up 28 second chance points. Said they did nothing to impose their will in the game. And I would have to think that Minnesota would have a bad taste in their mouth. The way I want to play the game, because 10.5 points is a lot. Minnesota is capable of blowing anybody out in the WNBA. Chicago has been very, very strong. I completely get it. I just think you see a locked-in, focused Minnesota team in this game. I don't want the points with the Sky in this game. To me, it's either Minnesota is either Minnesota first half minus the 6, because Nafisha Collier did mention, they got to start the game off better. They don't want to be just a good third quarter team. They don't want to just be a good quarter team. They want to be a complete team. So I think Minnesota comes out, puts, they start the game a lot better. We got to remember at halftime, they were losing this game on Saturday. They came out. It was just, you could tell it's just a lack of effort. And granted, you're going to need a lot of effort because if you're going to keep the Chicago Sky off the boards. This is a very good rebounding team. Angel Reese being, of course, the best rebounder in the WNBA. Cardosa, very, very good rebounder. She's been playing really, really well since she came back from Brazil. She was actually playing well before she left for Brazil. But yeah, it's a tough ask, but I like the Lynx in this game, man. I do like the Lynx. Couple other things I wanted to mention. Chicago, I wrote this for my notes. Chicago 2-1 to the over with the average of 168 when they're playing the team that they previously beat this season. Got to keep in mind that they came against the Wings twice and the Sparks, though. I definitely wanted to make sure I referenced that. All right, so a couple different things I wanted to look at here. Let's go over to let's stop sharing this and go over to Give Me the Dog. And we'll talk a little bit about the total. All right, so I'm gonna minimize myself. And as y'all come in, man, do me a favor, hit the like button. Sharing a ton of knowledge. Just hit the like button. Like. How many likes we got? Hope it's half. It looks like it's about 85 people watching live. 89 people. I hope we got at least 45 likes. If we don't got 45 likes, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm gonna come back in like 30 minutes. I'll see y'all later. It's like, I'm just kidding. But all right, so here we have let's just see if I can it's all good. It's cool. I can't see that. All right, so here you can't see the beginning of this trend, but this is teams that previously lost, teams that previously won as a dog, and they won as a double-digit dog within the last 7 days regular season game, and now they're getting double digits again. The strong trend here is 5-0 to the under. You can see that right here, right? And this is the same exact spot that we just caught the Storm and the Sun in. And I told you guys last week, I was like, man, I can't quite get there. The Storm could score 100 points in this game against the Sun. And they didn't. Remember, they had a team total of 86.5. They scored just 79 points. So it's not even that, you think the team's going to bounce back offensively. We know Minnesota can score with the best of them. They're the best defensive team in the WNBA as well. But this says that they don't even score a lot of points. So this DPS line, I talk about this a lot, right? This DPS line is delta points scored. This is how much the dog scores, right? So you can see the dog typically does not score the ball as efficiently in their next game, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 times they stay under their team total. You do expect the Lynx to come out and play a lot better defense, in my opinion. I absolutely agree with that. And I think that lends itself to maybe a potential Chicago team total under, but I also don't think the Lynx necessarily have to score the ball that much. I know Chicago's playing a lot faster. I get it. I think the top 5 in pace, their team total, Chicago's team total is 75.5 right now. It looks like it's the best number you could get to take under. Minnesota team total is 86.5. And I think they could win the game 85 to 69 or 85 to 71. And this game could definitely stay under. So I like under, and I like Minnesota first half in this game. I do think, just talking about, just re-mentioning what I talked about earlier, as far as rebounding, Minnesota, in my opinion, don't say you heard it here first, but I think Minnesota does a really good job of keeping the Chicago team off the boards in this game. Here is Courtney Williams. I was looking at her. This was actually from yesterday. Let me just refresh this, see if the line changed. I was looking at Courtney Williams on her rebounds and assist line. You can see she's been really, really good there. This season, she's over, looks like 10 to 23 games, but more recently, last 10 games, she's over in 6 of her last 10. You look at the head-to-head matchup. These are the 3 games from this season. She's done well in 2 games from this season. She's done well in both of these games, 14 and 13. So I like Courtney Williams. I think she's in a nice spot today. I think she could be one of the guards that goes down and crash the boards. Also consider Nafisha Collier over her 7.5 rebounds. This morning it was minus 130. Didn't quite pull a trigger on that, but I think it could be a double-digit rebound game for Nafisha Collier just because she's going to be the one that has to be down there getting those rebounds. Her, Alana Smith, Courtney Williams. Like Courtney Williams is a really good rebounding guard. We just look at her overall rebound prop. 5.5 is the number. You can see here she's gone over in both games this season against the Chicago Sky, and more recently in her last 10 games, she's over in 6 of those 10, 3 of the last 4 as well. So I know Chicago is a really good rebounding team, but I think Courtney Williams could go out there and get 6 boards today, and it is plus money as well. All right, I said enough. Let's see what you guys are thinking, and then we'll jump into the next game. All right, let's see what you guys have here. The Ghost Rider says Enrique Under will forever be a system play. Bro, I like Enrique. As a person, she's not my cup of tea on the basketball court, man. Not my cup of tea. And she missed a lot of easy shots too. Like, I don't think we got lucky cashing that yesterday. I don't even know if she ended up scoring, but I don't think we got lucky cashing it, but I think she did miss a lot of shots. I faded her specifically because when players come back after a long, layover, where they haven't played, that was the biggest point for me. I talked about it on the show. Hopefully people made a couple dollars with Enrique yesterday. All right. What up, Fahrenheit? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Showing love as always. Appreciate that. Malik says in reality, Sky coming off a big win on a big night. Angel Reese, 2K shirt. Lisa Leslie was in the building. First win against a team above 500. I forgot to mention that. I can see them winning, but covering is wow at this number. Okay. Sky says no WNBA, but I finally made it to the W. No NBA, but I finally made it to the W. What's up, Scott? Hope all is well. Toby says 4th straight road game before a long home stretch. Terrible spot for Minnesota. They have no motivation like the Sky, who need those wins. I don't think you know, Toby. You just don't know, bro. If you look at the Lynx off a loss, it's been really, really good. And the other thing I'll say about this is I typically don't like to play teams of, last game of a road trip, especially if it's 4 games or more. But when the venue don't change, there's no travel, right? They went back to the hotel, probably got some food, did a team bonding activity, went through shoot around, went through practice or whatever. Not like they had to catch a flight. So I think it's a little bit different. That's my thought process, though. Gina says she'll play on Angel Reese over her 3.5 assists. Mark my words, Toby said. He is strong with this one. Okay. LJ says Lynx third quarter auto bet. That's the thing, though. I think when the Lynx are coming off a loss, I typically want to bet on them. Not every single time, but we talked about this again when they were playing the Sparks the other day, right? Like they smoked the Sparks in the second quarter and covered the first half after losing the first quarter outright. So I think it's a little bit different in this spot, though, LJ. Especially listen to the comments from Fee. But I understand it, though. I do understand it. If they lose the first half, I'll probably bet them third quarter as well. They do turn it up in the third quarter. They're the best third quarter team for sure. Dom says he'll go Lynx minus 10.5 under 131 and Courtney Williams over 11.5 rebounds and assists. I feel like Dom's is in my notes. This is everything that I just said. Well, I like the Lynx first half though, but I think full game they get it done as well. So we're definitely aligned, Doms. I like to see that. Let's see. Gusto says seen somewhere Angel dealing with a leg injury, but still playing, but didn't see anywhere else any validity to that. I didn't see that. I did see she was questionable 2 games ago, right? Where they playing against the Dallas Wings, and she was questionable, but that was the second leg of a back-to-back, and she ended up playing. She looked good. Like, she looked fine to me. Her leg didn't look like it was hurting at all. Let's see. Fahrenheit says nothing that coach said is going to stop Minnie from being soft down low. All right, okay. I figured Chicago is going to get some love today. It makes sense, man. Malik says Courtney Williams talked about getting feet going early and also being more efficient on the defensive end. So I think if they slow down Ariel Atkins, I think Chicago's offense struggles today. And I just think they're going to be locked in. We shall see, though, man. We shall see. I love betting on really good teams at bounce back spots. And that's what we got for the Minnesota Lynx here. And Minnesota has a very good track record. I already told you guys, 3-0-1 against the spread this season. And they're not just winning those games by a couple points. Real quick, if we just look at that. Let's see. So Minnesota off a loss is, I know they 4-0 straight up. Let's see real quick. Yeah, 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. They're winning by average of 14 points per game, 13.2. 13.2. So a little bit bigger than the spread. Wins are about 23 against the Sparks, 17 to the Mystics. They beat the Dream by 4, and they beat the Sparks by 9, and they were laying 7.5. So this is the biggest spread. Second biggest spread. My fault. Third biggest spread. They've covered the 2 bigger ones so far this season already. 12 against the Sparks, won by 23. 11.5 to the Mystics, won by 17. That was coming off that Commissioner's Cup loss. Scott reminding everybody, hit the like button. Appreciate that. Cheetah, I figured you would be with your Sky. I don't think you've been against them one time yet. I understand it. Michael says both unders. I like it. Let's see what else y'all saying. What up, DJ? Appreciate you for tapping in. Mark says he got in on that first third quarter early, so he think they come out a little flat again. I disagree there, but we shall see. Link probably scored 90 in this game, Squad says. Dom says, I actually played Courtney Williams rebounds and assists right before your show started. Let's cash it. I like it. I'm going to probably put that in as well. Trey says, trying to get there with Minnesota, the lack of movement, lack of line movement with all the money that's come in on their side has me hesitant. Don't even look at that, Trey. Don't look at that, bro. It means nothing. Josh says, Cardoso should cook down low. Alana Smith cannot guard her. We shall see. All right, GLB got something for me. He says, Chris, check this. So he got Lynx and the Lynx coming off. So Lynx coming off a game where they were previously favored by 10. All right, so Lynx previous line is greater than 10 and previous loss. Oh, and it's not even this. I got this year and he just got in general. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. All right. So the links are, I'll just share this real quick. Shout out to GLB. I'm gonna share this real quick so you guys can see it. All right. So this is public versus non-public, man. All right. So this is the Lynx coming off. So this is the Lynx when they've lost as a double-digit favorite, pretty much. Their last game they lost as a double-digit favorite. This is what is up here by my face that you can't see. 10-1 straight up, 10-1 against the spread. I mean, whew, that's pretty strong, right? 10-1 straight up, 10-1 against the spread. You can see that it's active today. Well, let's just flip this. So it's active today. It was active against the Mystics early this season. And outside of that, it hasn't been active since the 2020 season. So they do really, really well bouncing back off a loss. That first quarter, +5, it looks like about plus what, 4.8. Second quarter, another almost +4. So it's a +9. They only -6 in the first half, which is why I like them in the first half as well. But I get it, though. People are going to stick to the trend. So I get it, man. Play Chicago plus the points because they have continued to cover. Chicago is a covering machine right now. And could they cover again? Absolutely, they could. Don't let me talk you off what you love. I'm not on Chicago today, though. Cash for them last game. I will be on the Lynx or no play at all in this one. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Appreciate this one, though, GLB. That's nice. DJX says Courtney 20 points, rebounds, and assists over, and the feature call you over 11.5 rebounds and assists. Angel Reese over her 3.5 assists as well. Superstar says if a team has been beaten twice by a team in one season, then they probably will be beaten again. Speaking of, let's go back to that start comment because I forgot about this one. Brian says, Chris, is there a stat for a favorite not covering twice against a team? Do they cover the third time? So if we just look at favorite and previous ATS loss and previous ATS loss and previous season equals season and previous season equals season. So let's see, and let's just make sure it's a regular season game as well. Those teams cover, Brian, about 52% of the time, 51.9. 325 and 301. It looks like, I mean, you'll have to take this and like do a lot of work to it. Let's just look at the seasons real quick. So, and I should probably share this so you guys can see it too. My fault. Let's just look at this. I'll share this so you guys can see it. Teach you guys a little SDQL if you want to learn. All right. So this is all right. So this is what I got here is what Brian asked about, right? So favorites not covering twice, right? So previous ATS loss, which is right here behind my face, and then previous, right? So two non-covers, and they happen within the same season, which is this part here, and it's a regular season game, so it's not playoffs. And season just brings up all the seasons. So this season is 9-3 straight up, 6-6 against the spread. Last season it was 66-18 straight up, 45-32 against the spread. So you can see these ATS numbers here. It's been even here. It's been profitable here, about 55%. 2 years ago it was profitable, 55%. 3 years ago it was profitable, 58%. So a lot of the times when I'm looking at this, I'll just go like, look at this since the 2022 season. So I'll go season greater than or equal to 2022. And this is what comes up. So you can see over the last 4 years, it's been pretty profitable, 56%. If we add that they're laying double digits, it's 52% as well, right? 60-10 straight up. They win by about 12 points, which you can see right here, 12.3. And if we just double click this, you can see that it is active here. Skyburst Lynx tonight. Look at the unders though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I probably shouldn't even be sharing all this stuff with y'all, but that's 7 straight unders. Fever Sun also on here for tomorrow. They lay at 15 points. But we got to remember that the last time, the only win that the Sun got on the road this year happened to come against the Fever. So take with that information, do what you guys want, man. But yeah, I'm glad Brian asked me about this because I do love being able to kind of share this stuff. Somebody taught me. Shout out to my SDQL guys. So hopefully I can help, with you guys helping, learning this stuff as well. All right, let's go back to the comments real quick and see what else we have before we get to the next one. What else y'all saying on here? What up, Jay, man? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Let's see what else y'all say here. Fever to win the chip. They look complete yesterday. That's the thing about the W, man. One team looked great, and the next thing you know, they losing to the Sparks. All right, what else y'all saying about this one? A little fat and happy spot for the Sparks. All right, Mark talking about the next game, so I guess I should move over. He said they first half 7-0 ATS. May take the full game also, Sably, and Copper possible return. Make me a bit nervous. They're not returning, Mark. They already ruled out. I don't know if you saw that or not. Jason says, would you say your WNBA comp would be Alyssa Thomas? Who, me? Not definitely. You probably not talking to me, but definitely not Alyssa Thomas. She can't shoot. She got 2 torn labrums. Josh says Mystics is plus money to beat the Sparks tomorrow. Need that early value. They were actually plus2, and then they're down +1. So if you want the Sparks, you definitely want to take them as a dog, just like yesterday, right? You definitely want to take them as a dog. So I agree with you there, Josh, even though we haven't completely gotten through that game yet. Brian says I can't lay 10.5 with Minnesota. Chicago, I think it's a matchup thing. I'm on Chicago. So opposite side. Okay. All right, let's go to the next game. We have the Mercury and the Valkyries. Let me just double check the line, see if make sure it hasn't moved. All right, so yeah, well, actually it is moving. It's down to 1 now. So spread is 1.5 in favor of Golden State, but it is down to 1 on a couple books. The total is 158. 158.5 are out there as well. So you can see the numbers. This was the game I kind of wanted to talk out a little bit. I feel more comfortable, taking the. I feel like everybody will be scared to take the Lynx today. They just lost outright. The Sky won, covered 8 games in a row. I completely get it. I want to be on the Lynx today, but in the under in that game. But this game is a very, very intriguing one. So Kalia Copper has already been ruled out. Satu Sabli has also already been ruled out. And I knew that Kalia Copper wasn't going to play. Satu wasn't going to play because she didn't even practice. And I saw that yesterday. I saw that on Saturday. But the line, this line, I was waiting forever for this line to come out. It didn't come out until after I wasn't looking anymore yesterday. So no Kalia Copper. No Satu Sabali. It looks like Alexa Hell is listed as game time decision. I didn't see anything about her potentially returning in this game, but take with that information, do what it is that you want. And then the Valkyries don't have anybody listed on their injury report. So you got a major, first thing that stuck out to me is you got a major rest advantage here in this game. The Phoenix Mercury haven't played a game since they beat, I don't remember who they beat last, but they have 4 days of rest in this game. Whereas the Valkyries only have 1 day of rest. Terrible spot for the Valkyries, in my opinion, here. The Valkyries are coming off 1 day's rest. They lost that game to the Aces. It's their first game back home after a 4-game road trip. They did give up 104 points, which is the most points that they've given up in quite a while. But I told you guys before, after they beat Seattle, I said, we'll see how good this Valkyries team is now that they have to go on the road where they went 1-3. They didn't win. The only game they won was against the Indiana Fever. And, they come back home at 10-10 now. When they went on the road trip, they were what? 9-7. 9-7. So now they got a very, very tough matchup. Even without Satu there, even without Kalia Copper there, this is still a pretty good Phoenix team. Here's the thing, though. Both of these teams play really, really well at home. I don't really want Phoenix on the road. I told you guys the last time Phoenix played against Minnesota, I would wait for the line to get a little bit bigger with Phoenix, and I would take them plus the points. They won the game outright against Minnesota. And if you can slow Minnesota down offensively, I think you could definitely slow the Valkyries down offensively. Here's the problem, though. Phoenix don't play that well on the road. Last time they were on the road, they lost to the Dallas Wings. So who knows, man? Who knows? Who really knows with this Phoenix Mercury team? I just know that I don't really want the Valkyries. So let's walk through this one together, and we'll actually. I see. GLB got a system here, which I do want to look into. But real quick, let's go over, because I kind of wanted to. Matter of fact, let's go to Moneyballer. Let's go to Moneyballer real quick. Look at this game. Forgive me for the sign. I talked to my guy RC. We're getting through this, but right now we just got to kind of deal with that premium content thing, kind of being in the middle. It's all good. I'll make sure I look around that. All right, let's go to this game. Let's go. Let's look at the full season numbers, right? And you can see that there are some systems that are active. For the Mercury, big rest advantage. I'm up here where you can kind of see my mouse. Rest advantage, two more days rest. Like I said, they got 4 days rest. Coming off a win as a dog could be a little bit of a letdown spot. And then on the Valkyries, in-season revenge. They did lose the first time that these two teams played. And first game home off a long road trip of at least three games. They are the rest disadvantage. This baller system says fade rusty teams are 4+ days rest. And there are a lot of baller systems on the Mercury here in this spot, right? Fade bad teams return at home off a 2-game road trip after a loss. Away plus, so road team plus won their previous matchup at home. Back a dog off a win as a dog with more rest. And then back road teams off a win with more rest. Back teams with more rest and less road games in their previous 5 games. Because for the Mercury in this spot, this is actually their first road game after 2 straight home games. So they haven't played on the road since the 3rd. That's the game that they were in Dallas. And before that, they had 2 home games as well. So they haven't really been on the road in quite a while. All right, so we come down here. Let's just go straight into looking at the trends, because the trends are going to favor the Valkyries, right? The Valkyries are 12-7. You can see that right here in the first half at home. They also 2-0 as a home favorite, which they're a short home favorite in the spot. But look at the Mercury with the rest advantage. You can see 5-0, straight up 4-1 with the rest advantage here in the first half as well. We look at the spread stuff. The Valkyries are really good, of course, 13-2-5 overall in the first half as a home favorite, 1-0-1, 1-1 as a home favorite overall. And the Mercury are 4-1 with the rest advantage in the first half, 3-2 with the rest advantage for the full game as well. So the more I kind of think about it, the more I think, yes, the Mercury will be without 2 key players, like I said, I just don't really want to lay it with the Valkyries either. I think if the Valkyries had beat the Aces in that last game, I would definitely take the Mercury. But I don't know. I don't really know based on this. If we look at the total, because that's where I kind of want to go, we can see that the Valkyries are 13-7 to the under in the first half, 12-8 to the under for the full game. With the rest disadvantage, 4-2 to the under in the first half, but 4-2 to the over for the full game if they had the rest disadvantage. And then look at the Mercury on the road, just 2-2 against the spread as a 2-2 to the over under as a road dog, both at home. I mean, both in the first half and full game. They are a little bit more to the over team on the road at 12-8, and then with the rest advantage, 4-1 to the over as well. So with the rest disadvantage, the Valkyries are 4-2 to the over, and the rest advantage for the Mercury 4-1 to the over. That's where I kind of want to go. So I'm gonna stop sharing this, and I'm going to start sharing. Let me see which tab I had it in. Dang, I had this up. Let's see. All right, so I got it. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing that and I'm gonna share this. Hopefully this is the right one. I got a bunch of tabs. Let's see. All right, yeah, this is the right one. All right, so this is, and then I'm gonna go into GLB system too. So this is a team coming off a 4-game road trip that is all here, right? So first game back home off a 4-game road trip, you're a home favorite, laying less than 3, right? So you're a 3-point favorite. You're a favorite of 1 possession or less. And I don't need to have this and favorite part because that doesn't really matter. It's already kind of incorporated in there. 13-2-1 to the over. This was hard for me to ignore. 86%. If we come down here and look at some of these totals, totals below 160. So that would be these totals here have all gone over and 1 push. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-0-1 to the over with these super low totals and the team returning home. How does the impact of the Valkyries having such a long road trip impact them? I think, in my personal opinion, without Satu Sabali and without Kalia Copper, I kind of think the Mercury are going to play through Alyssa Thomas like they always do. That's no shocker. But I think the defense is going to be worse, and I think that they're going to have to shoot. They're going to take a bunch of threes, in my opinion. That's just the way the Mercury play in general, right? And I do think that their defense is going to take a hit as well without having Kalia Copper and Satu Sabali out there. So I kind of lean over. I think that they can get up and over 158.5. I think it's a super low total. That's my thought process. Don't really want to touch the side too much. All right, let's see what GLB had here because I did start. So he says, Chris, season equals. So this season, a favorite, and the rest is you're at a 2-day rest disadvantage, I think is what this says. So season equals 2025. And y'all hit the like button for me if y'all joined late. Appreciate that. And favorite and rest plus 2 is less than opponent rest. Oh, damn. Okay. So this says to take the Valkyries. So So you had a 2-day rest disadvantage, right? You can kind of see all that here. The Fever were at a 3-day rest disadvantage. The Dream were at a 5-day rest disadvantage. The Lynx were at a 3-day rest disadvantage. So it's at least 2 days of rest disadvantage, and you're a favorite. And you're 7-0 straight up, 6-1 against the spread. 5-2 to the under is what I don't like to see because I kind of want to play over. All right, so this is very convincing for the Valkyries. And this is where I started my handicap at, GLB. I started with rest equals 1 and opponent rest is greater than 3. And this is what made me say, you know what, I can't take the Mercury in this spot, because what this is saying is that if one team, so if you have 1 day of rest right here, well, let's see. If you have 1 day of rest, you're not gonna be able to see this behind my face, and your opponent has more than 3 days of rest, then you play better than they do. You win the game 56% of the time, 128 and 101. You can see that right here. And you cover the spread more. In the NBA, you would never see this. You would never see a team at this big of a rest disadvantage, this favors the Valkyries. It also favors the under, right? 57% towards, 56.2% to the under here as well. And you can see that it is active on the Valkyries this season. 5-4 straight up, 6-3 against the spread, 5-4 to the under this season as well. So what if we add that you're coming off a loss? 53-42, so still about 55% against the spread. I think that gets a little bit stronger at 63%. Yeah, that gets even stronger if you're coming off a loss. And the over-under, I think, stays about the same this season. 4-2 ATS, 3 straight covers here. I think it started the season off with a loser right here. All right, so what if you're at home? Even stronger, 27-14 straight up, 28-12-1 to the over, 70%. Yeah, it says Valkyries. It definitely says Valkyries. Only 2-1 straight up and against the spread this season. If we just look at this over the seasons, we can see very, very strong recent years, right? So since 2019, we got a 100% hit rate, 50% hit rate, 100% hit rate, 50% hit rate, and a 66% hit rate here on this trend. This is a very, very strong trend. If we just go since 2019, 14-3 straight up, 12-4-1 against the spread, 75%, 82%. Says to take the Valkyries today. Says to take the Valkyries. The average line is about a point almost. Hard to fade the Valkyries at the crib today. I don't want the Valkyries though. I don't. I do not, man. I want to get there with an over. That's just the way I think about it. Let's see what else you guys are thinking, and then we'll jump into a quick recap. I'm not sure if I'll bet this one or not. Let's see what else you guys are thinking. What up, PZ? Appreciate you for tapping in. What am I missing here? What up, Jose? Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, I saw that as well, Jason. I hope she get well soon, man. Me says I favor Mercury money line. I kind of do too. I just don't like the support for it. Me don't like the support for it. What else y'all saying? LJ says, can you look up Mercury first quarter loss? I don't have numbers for first quarter, LJ. But we can look at, while we're here, we can look at the Mercury this season. We can look at them traveling from home to road. 2-2 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. So this is if their last game was at home and now they are on the road. We can look at them with the rest advantage. They are 5-0 straight up, 3-2 against the spread, 4-1 to the over. We can also add road games, 2-0 straight up, 2-1 against the spread. They beat the Aces in this spot, beat the Sun in this spot. We can also look at the Mercury facing a team that they previously beaten already this season. Keep in mind, you got to take all this with a grain of salt, though, because they don't have Kalia Copper and Satu Sabli in this spot. All right, 3-3 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. If they've already beaten the team, last 2 times they've beaten the team, they have not been able to beat the team again, right? So they lost to the Aces. I was on them in that spot. And then they lost to the Wings. I mean, how do you lose to the Wings? But yeah, got smoked by the Wings. Gave up 98 points on the road. This is tough, man. This is tough. Mercury on the road in general, 5-3 straight up, 4-4 against the spread. Mercury as a road dog, 2-2 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. They lost to the Storm, beat the Sparks. Everybody beat the Sparks though. Lost to the Lynx and beat the Liberty. This game did have Satu in it though. So this is games with Satu Sabali on the road. 5-3 with Satu Sabali on the road. 5-3 to the over too. But I don't think you can do games without Satu Sabali. Yeah, that don't help me none. Ugh, I don't really know what to do with this one, man. I don't know what to do. I just don't know. I don't want the Valkyries. That's all I know. Let's see. Blunt says, how you take the Mercury with 3 of their top players out and they're on the road. I'm not taking them. Not myself, but I don't want the Valkyries because it's a terrible spot in my opinion. Burden over 4.5 assists. Veronica Burden's been hooping. Superstar says, I know it's the first game coming back home off a losing road trip. It's usually a phase spot, but I tell Sky on Mercury to win the championship, but I am on Golden State tonight. Okay, Superstar. Probably says, come on, Chris, hold your nose and take the Valkyries with me. you don't want a team that's missing 2 major players and lost to the Wings on the road, plus the Valkyries revenge factor. Yep, and Mercury rusty. So let's look at the Valkyries real quick. Valkyries and previously lost in previous season, equal season. So the Valkyries are 1-3 straight up, but 3-1 against the spread, 4-0 to the under if they're playing a team that they previously lost to. Only team that they beat was the Sparks, but they lost to the Liberty in their 2 revenge games and lost to the Lynx in a revenge game. And this is the one that they didn't cover. They do go over. They do go under. I'm not messing with totals that's below 158. I said this yesterday between the Mystics in the Storm game. I said the same thing, and I would have made some money if I had bet the under, but I can't quite bet under in this game, man. I think 158 is probably about right, which is I don't really like betting totals under 158, under 160. That's just my thought process. For real says Vols -2 only way. Wickham 3s could be to the moon again at plus money. Valkyrie's tough on the inside, and you're thinking Mercury are going to shoot a bunch of 3s. That's a fact. If we just look at that real quick, let me just go to my numbers. If we look at that, the Mercury are taking the third most above the break 3s, second most over the last 5 games, shooting them at the second best percentage overall. They're the 4th best shooting 3-point shooting team in the WNBA, 3rd in the last 5 games. The Valkyries are decent. They're 6th in 3-point defense in general, holding teams to about 33%. 5th in the last 5 games, holding teams to about 29%. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to take the Valkyries. I just don't want them. I guess they are the right side based on the trends, based on, Satu and ChrisBeCappinn not being there. I just don't want them. I do not want them today. Don't want them today, man. Just my thought process. I just want to take over. Chicago says Cheetah plus 2.5 as well. What else should I say? Let's go through the rest of these. Valkyries have Valkyries first half is the best bet of the game, probably so. And then you add on top of that their top 2 players. Valkyries are so well coached, it's hard to bet against them coming off a loss with Phoenix missing so much. I agree. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just think it's a bad spot. See, Valkyries off a loss. 1-3 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. Oh, no. This is not off a loss. This is off a previous loss. So it's a team loss. So 5-4 straight up, 6-3 against the number. Rest disadvantage, 3-1 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. First time all season they've been at home with a line between the threes, though, between the one possession games. Okay, let's look at this. I'm probably not betting this one. I'm just showing you guys my thought process, honestly. So the shortest line that they've had is they've been either getting 4.5 points this game here against the Mystics, or they've been laying 9 points. So they have not had a spread like this all season at home. I guess they're the right side. I just don't want to do it, man. Brian says he'll take them though. First half minus a half. What up, Dreams? Says what's goody? My guy, happy to catch a live. Yeah, appreciate you for tapping in, Dream. Y'all check out Dream too, man. Blunt Money Bets. Shout out to Dream. LJ says, does that trend really matter if the Valkyries are a new team this year? Just asking. I think from a league perspective overall, I want to credit the Valkyries because they do play really hard, especially off a loss. I know that their coach going to have them super motivated after giving up 104 points. Like, don't get it twisted. I just still don't want to get there. That's all. That's all, man. That is all. Junior says hard to ignore the Valks having the best home court advantage and being the first home game in 15 days. Same reason I like them versus Seattle. I kind of agree. I do agree. Glenn says he'll go first half. I don't really like the first half as much. I get it from a bounce back perspective, but first game back home off a 4-game road trip, I don't know. It don't let me talk you off one way or another though. People find trends and they just continue to better. I'm not like the guy that just continues to ride one thing. Sometimes that hurts me though. So don't let me talk you off. What's up, Adam? Appreciate you for tapping in. Lee Anthony says, I think the Valkyries put the clamps on Thomas and Wickham has a bad shooting night. So I know you like the Valks. It sounds like your alt line to me. If Sammy Wickham's not going to hit threes and Alyssa Thomas not going to go off, the Valkyries going to win this game by 10 plus, in my opinion. Jose says he'll try Valkyries first half as well. Brian says, I have the same feeling about Minnesota. I hate being on the outside of you. It's that way, Brian. You just take what you like, man. That's all. That's all, bro. You just take what you like. I'm not betting this game, though. I can. It's a 95% chance I'm probably not betting this game, man. But I don't want to take the Valkyries, though. And I feel like the Valkyries are the public side. I know that the Lynx are not the public side. The Lynx are the absolute terrible side. Chicago's covered 8 games in a row, man. Nobody gonna bet against them. They just went outright. I want to be on that side, though. Helms, what's going on, my brother? Hope all is well with you, man. Helms, what's the spread picks today? What you like in this game and what you like in the Chicago and Minnesota game? Let's see what Helms like. Okay, so Helms says Lynx minus 11, which we agree on that, but he likes the Valkyries on the money line. Okay. All right. Helms says he likes Lynx on the money. He likes the Valkyries on the money line. All right. Let's jump into a quick recap. 2 games. I've been on here for about 5 hours, it feels like. Stop sharing. Y'all do me a favor, hit the like button for me if you can. Helps out the show, helps out the algorithm. All right, let's go. Oh, did I share it? I shared the wrong screen. Hold on. Tripping. All right, here we go. Jumping back into this. All right, so yeah, it'll be no play for me on this one specifically. And I should have probably looked into player props as well. I didn't bet a game yet though, but this is what I'm probably going to bet. Let me just make sure these lines are still available. Minnesota first half. You still can get 6 on DraftKings, Bet365, and Caesars. And I like Minnesota full game as well. I haven't bet either one of them yet. Just telling you guys my thought process. The best number you can get right now for full game, I think, is still minus 10.5. And I will be on the under as well. Under 161.5 is available on BetMGM today. BetMGM. If the Lynx come out and they struggle offensively, which they have been, they've been playing a ton of games recently, they can still slow down the Chicago offense with their defense, in my opinion. And that's what you're betting on, right? Chicago had 47 points, I think, at halftime the other day. I don't think that's going to happen again. Minnesota will be a little bit more locked in. They won't get out rebounded as badly, even though Chicago is still a really good rebounding team. Ariel Atkins won't go off as much as she did. I think they'll lock in on her. I think they'll put a body on people. Cardosa, Angel Reese, slow them down on the rebound front. Angel Reese under her rebound prop is actually something that I know a lot of people probably don't want to play, but she's gone under. I forgot to mention this. Angel Reese has gone under her rebound prop in back-to-back games since Cardosa has returned to the lineup. And if you think Minnesota is going to win and cover, like I do, then you got to look at Angel Reese under her boards because she's gone under in back-to-back games. She's listed at 12.5. I think I saw this at 13.5 earlier as well. So that's also another look. People not going to want to bet Angel Reese under, but I understand it. But Angel Reese under 12.5 rebounds. I'll add that to the short list as well. And I forgot Courtney Williams. Over, what was the number on her rebounds and assist line? That's what I want to be on. Rebounds plus assists for Courtney Williams. 11.5. Minus 110 on bet 365 right now is available. Minus 115 everywhere else. Okay. So these are the plays, man. And I'll take this. I found too much on the under, so I don't think I want to play over. But this is the way I want to play the games. And I even put Minnesota on here for the full game as well. Minus a 10.5. I think this is pretty much in order too. I think Minnesota will. I think the game will go under more than anything else. I think Minnesota will definitely win the first half. They just play with a lot more effort, and I think they'll win the full game. And if I'm betting player props, I'm betting the last two for sure. Yeah, I think that's it, man. I think that is it. What else should I say right here? GLB says, appreciate the show. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, appreciate you, GLB. Helm says, I like the over in that Phoenix game too, Chris. Okay, I do too. I took it off though, Helms, because I couldn't find anything to really support it. Helm says Atkins has been hitting someone. She did. She hit the little left-hand shot with no time left. She did. So everyone likes the Lynx on a 4th and 6 still. Yeah, so the major bounce back spot for him, Chad. You like Chicago today? Let's see. Appreciate you, Brian, for tapping in. All right, yeah. Let's jump off here. Official link for official plays in the description of the video, as it always is. Link for all the resources in the description of the video, as it always is as well. Best of luck on your action for today. 2 games tomorrow. We'll be back for those. Like I said, hit the like button for me if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Definitely want to turn that notification bell on if you're new, because these shows happen at all different times throughout the summer. We'll get back into a regular routine, but not during the summer. I've just got a lot of things going on. So I do appreciate you all for tapping in as always. Yeah, enjoy your Monday, man. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.